I saw this beautiful dress on Pinterest and I thought, wow, this is going to make a very great Valentine's Day inspiration dress. And I just took out the collar because I really didn't want the collar. If this is something you would like to learn, please keep watching. You're welcome to Sew Junkies. And today, what I used for this dress is trouser length of crepe, and this crepe is quite stretchy, and that's all. So the first thing I did was to fold the fabric into four, and I'm just marking it like so. I marked the neckline. The bottom part is the back, while the upper part is the front, and that front part has a fold. So I just marked out the neck 3 by 3. Like I said, this dress has a collar, a bishop neckline, which I didn't want. But should you want a bishop collar, don't take 3 by 3. Use 2.5, 2 by 2.5, then 2.5 by 1 for the back length. So the next thing I did was to take 2 inches. Like I said, it was 45 inches length of fabric, and I just folded according to what I have. So by the time you measure what you have from your nape to waist to your shoulder extension, like the sleeve extension is about 3 inches, just add 3 inches to your shoulder and you have that. And then I added 2 inches. I came down by 2 inches for that part. So here I'm just connecting the point. I later redrew it because the curve wasn't curvy enough. So I just went in from that armhole point. I just went in by 2 inches and then I redrew my curve. So the next thing I'm going to mark is my waistline, my shoulder to my waistline. Shoulder to waistline, I took 15 and half. My shoulder to waist is 15, so I just added half inch for the joining at the shoulder, the normal drill. So the next thing I'm marking is my hip depth, then from there on I marked out my full length, the full length of my dress, plus 2 inches folding allowance. So if you don't have up to 2 inches folding allowance, you can leave it at 1 inch. And if you have hem gum, it will really be pretty if you use hem gum instead of allowing your seam to show. Or you have machine that does invisible stitches, you can just do your stitching like so. So the next thing, I'm putting my hip measurement at that hip line, and then for the waist measurement, a waistline, I'm putting my waist measurement plus half inch. For this sewing, for this particular tutorial, I added half inch for sewing. Like I said, the fabric has a healthy stretch, it has elastic, it stretches enough so that even if I decide to sew out the allowance, it will still be okay. So you get. So I'm just, what I did there, I didn't know it was not showing on the camera. I just redrew the curve. And that was all I did there. So at the hem, I'm going to be putting my hip measurement. You see, I didn't even bother with the hem. What I had at the hip is what I'm going to be having at the hem. This dress, I used 36 inches length. 36 inches was just okay. 36 inches length plus 2 inches seam allowance. It was just okay for what I needed it for. So that was it, guys. That was it. There was no plenty cut for this particular tutorial. If I had wanted a collar, the bottom part, the leftover part at this bottom would have been enough for the collar. Like I said, I didn't really want collar for this dress, but the collar is something that it's easy. Just don't use a 3 by 3 for your neckline if you want a collar. So I'm just telling you here that whatever I had at the hip was what I have at the hem, and then I'm just going to cut the whole thing out, cut all my markings out. It is really, really nice to have this. Just make this in a red dress and you would already have a beautiful Valentine's Day dress to wear. So just be ready for the beadwork. Just be ready for the beadwork, because the beadwork is the part that's going to stress you. Every other part, the cutting, the sewing of the dress, is just easy and very straightforward. But for the beading took time. Even though my beading is even scanty, but it took time. It took time, really. And I just kind of wish that I could have made it more fuller, but I couldn't. But if you can, it would be really nice. You really have something that you would work with. I didn't have enough bead for those plenty part, but I like the outcome of the dress. So what you are seeing me do here, the dress has a zipper, and I'm cutting out that unnecessary part at that back that can create a bulge or at the back, or unnecessary discomfort at the back, so that it lays nice and flat. Like I said, by the time I was done with this dress and I had my first fit, I saw that it needed a little bit of that here and there. It is a stretchy cloth, and that back needed that, and I didn't need extra allowance to sew out the dart. So I just cut out little dart. I just sew out a small dart for the two sides of the back and for the armhole of the front. So please, when you are done sewing and you fit your dress, you see that it needs a little touch here and there, please just give it just sew out that at the appropriate places that it shows on the fit. That way you get a better fit. So what I did now is to just pin down the zip allowance, so I can actually pin the shoulders together. So you can see what I did. I pinned the shoulders down. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and then I'm going to sew the shoulders down. I'm going to bias the neckline. I'm going to bias the armhole, and then I'm going to sew it all down. And then I'll add my zipper, weave it, fold the hem, the normal drill, and that's all for the cutting and the sewing of the dress. So this is the already made bias, and you can see what I just showed you. Go over to the sewing machine and do all the sewing. It is straightforward. So join by the half inch, join the side by the half inch that you used, then fold the hem by 2 inches, and that's all. So that's all for the dress. We are done with the sewing of the dress, and as you can see, it came out pretty well. Like I told you, the sewing part is like the easiest part of this dress. Then the next thing I'm doing is I'm marking out where my waist is. From that waistline, I'm going to take the hip depth where my hip bone is, and then I'm just going to mark a straight line. Once I'm done, this ruler is a 1 inch as a ruler. So once I'm done, see, this is what I'm just doing. I first of all figured out how many lines I want on this dress, how many lines of beads I want at the dress, and I decided I was going to be needing 5 lines. So after marking that 5 lines, then I'm going to now mark out how many space of beads that I want, and I used about 1 inch spacing. So if you want it to be fuller, you can use half-inch spacing. And then the lines, you can also increase it from 5 to 7 or 10. depending on how much beads you want. But I think that line was just okay because the line that came with the original dress was about 5 lines. So I think is the spacing. Instead of 1 inch, you can use half an inch. So I'm showing you that I used sand bead and about like 6 of crystal beads as the stopper, that will be at the end of the stone. So my white beads were not enough, and I have a blue bead, so I just added a touch of that. So that's what I have, that's what I use. So you are just going to take these strings of seed beads as long as you want it to be. So you can see what I did. The first bead I took is longer than the next line, the second next line, and that's what I had. So once you have that the sand bead long enough on the strand, then the next thing is you add one crystal bead. After adding one crystal bead, you add the seed bead as the stopper, then take it through then take it back into the crystal bead and tie a knot. That's just what I did. So please, if you want me to show you a detail of how I made the strings of bead, please let me know in the comment section. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if this is your first time on my channel, you are so welcome, and we say God bless you for supporting us all this time. We have a lot of great videos on our channel that will benefit you. Please check them out. If you love this dress, you will love a whole lot of other dresses we have on our channel that can serve as an inspiration for Valentine's dress. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share our posts so you can see what I did there. But if you are not seeing it, please let us know in the comment section. We'll tell you, we'll explain better to you. That way it is easier to do, or we'll show a more detailed video on how to make strings of beads. So that was all. We just kept making the beads. It's really beautiful. Thank you for watching. God bless you. We love you. Bye. See you soon on our next video.